that you see go against each other. They guard each other. It's a personal matchup.
Rivals Week will include 20 games highlighting classic team showdowns across the league. I'm Mike Dabusky, ABC News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code SPEED to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SPEED for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SPEED for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A little bit of patchy fog early this morning. Otherwise, today will be mostly sunny with a high of 87. Then tonight, clouds will increase with a low of 71. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a gusty thunderstorm, high 82. And on Tuesday, another couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 83. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Nicole Joniak, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli.
Among the challenges faced by public schools is chronic absenteeism. In Pennsylvania, the rate was 21% in 2025. 1 out of every 5 students missing classes on a regular basis is unacceptable. 21% is higher than before the pandemic. The reasons for absenteeism are numerous: sickness, unreliable transportation, housing and food insecurity, safety concerns, and babysitting siblings are barriers. Some students stay away due to bullying. Others are disengaged and have little interest in study. Finally, there's the pandemic, when remote learning changed some perceptions of the importance of being at school. Some students came to prefer isolation. How can school districts respond? Success stories involve offering support to address specific barriers and personalized interventions with students and parents. Finally, a return to widespread agreement about the benefits of being at school will help in lowering the number of students missing too many classes.
This has been an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli. To view a transcript, go to kdkaradio.com.
Rob Frax on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
All right, we begin this Sunday with a story out of the trip that I've been following the last couple of days, and I thought this would be a good way to start off our Sunday. As the opening day of school looms, the Peters Township School District has updated its cell phone policy to prohibit students from using them throughout the school day. The district has taken this step in anticipation of a statewide ban on student cell phone use that could go into effect as early as 2027. Both Pennsylvania House of Representatives and Senate have approved separate bills that would prohibit cell phone use in schools. Governor Josh Shapiro backs the effort, saying that our kids deserve to learn in a classroom that is free from distraction, where they can spend real time together, free from screens. And other school districts in Washington County have also enacted bans, with prohibiting them by the Washington and Ringgold School District as well. This goes back for those two schools to 2022. So, once again, we are dealing with the age-old question about young people actually learning in school. Bottom line is this: there are so many outside distractions in life in general today, especially with our youth. This is the key to the future. We must give our educators a chance to lock in, have laser focus, and to make the most out of the very short time that you have with these students. I mean, in reality, let's face it, when you're going through those first 12 years, actually 13, including kindergarten, and in some cases, preschool, so maybe 14 or 15 years altogether, you have to be able to get the most out of that. And when you think of school years actually being 8 months, and then that's about it, all the time that you have on a year-to-year basis to educate and to inform and make that sponge-like brain of these young, amazing students have a chance to understand what the rules of the road are to give them an opportunity to have a quality of life. You know, we continue to slide away with so many things that are happening in our world today, and a lot of it really kind of started when the middle class started to fade into the sunset, and we've never been able to get that solid foundation back where it needs to be, right here on planet Earth in the good old United States of America. And the key to a better future and to unlock a better future as far as the future is concerned for generations is by unlocking the incredible brain cells and brain power that everyone has, their individuality, some of the traits that truly separate them from everyone else, and to give them an opportunity, which is the most important aspect of school life, to carve out a section of life that will give them the chance to enjoy life to the fullest. So, what do? We simply say, look, put away those phones for a little bit later after a school is done, meaning that day at school, because you must take time to actually learn reading, writing, and arithmetic and the basics that were as important 100 years ago. They are today and will be important for this country to move forward for the next 100 years and beyond. All right, so U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement said yesterday it expects every officer and agent in the field to be equipped with a body camera at the end of August is what they're looking to have. All of those in place, a rapid expansion that could provide an unprecedented visual record of the federal government's immigration enforcement operations. But whether the public will get to see that footage remains largely up to ICE. Look, I'm not concerned about that. But I think this is a proper step moving forward, so at least authorities and those who sit at the top of the chain, meaning they are the ones who make the final decision, they'll have a chance to actually witness what has transpired, especially when the public starts pushing back. And believe you me, with the ability for those who are investigative reporters, and I've seen it firsthand, with the way technology is today and how people can hack anyone's computer, large or small, anytime, day or night, that footage will not go unseen. If it becomes a major story and major authorities like network news and these cable 24-hour cable news channels and the talking heads are all in on it, believe me, the word will get out, the footage will get released, and America will have a chance to be able to see the story unfold in front of their very eyes. But this is the problem that concerns me, because we have so many naysayers and people that push back on every aspect of law enforcement because people don't want to have somebody telling them what to do. That's how much the ego has gone wrong in this society, and that's how we all are so self-absorbed into our personal well-being and instant gratification in us being able to dictate who talks to us, where, and when, even if they are someone carrying a badge. That no matter what they see, if in their mind's eye they have already made a, final conclusion, if it's ICE, it's bad, it really won't matter. But at least what I'm seeing here, because of what happened in Minnesota and elsewhere in this country, that people who are truly in the position to make these very important, intricate decisions that really can be a matter of life and death, they're at least taking time to understand that something must be done. Look, I have had a lot of conversation with you because ICE has affected us locally as much as it has nationally. This is a local story. I can tell you one thing, at least I see the long arm of the government and law enforcement at least trying to respond, realizing that things, sometimes can go wrong, and there is no perfect in any aspect of life, whether it's yours or mine or, yes, those members of law enforcement who go out every day and serve and protect and do the job that they need to do to protect the citizenship of the United States of America. So is this a good step in the right direction? It surely is. And think about it. Body cams on all these agents, I think it's a giant step in the right direction. All right, we have a lot of other things to get to today. You know, one of the stories that I saw that I wanted to kind of jump in here with today, just to kind of get you understanding that this violence that we've been dealing with is happening around the world. Very tragic story. A schoolgirl died from critical wounds yesterday after a student opened fire at a high school and his home outside of Bangkok, Thailand, the day before, bringing the death toll from the attack to at least 8 people. 14-year-old opened fire at around 10 a.m. Friday in that school in Providence, northwest of the Thai capital, before apparently taking his own life. He also appeared to have killed his 2 grandparents at his family's home earlier in the morning. So violence is sparing no one around the world. So why a powder keg? Why are so many people taking violence as a way of trying to figure things out in their personal life? You know, we've had it in our country, sadly, since Columbine, 1999. Do the math. We're pushing 30 years almost, right? Just a few years shy. But now it's starting to happen in schoolyards and places around the world, and these crimes are being committed by teenagers. Very, very sad. Hey, if you know someone in your community who's done something extraordinary in the past year, nominate them now, KDKRadio.com, to be honored at this year's Larry's Hometown Heroes event. NASCO Roofing, instant access to our shows a click away. Email us at instantAccess, KDKRadio.com. And as you can always listen to us at 100.1 FM, AM 1020 KDK on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. You can also watch us online with our KDK video stream presented by Metropolitan Window Company. Just go to KDKRadio.com and click on Watch KDK Radio Livestream, or now you can just go to KDK Radio, our YouTube page, to watch everything we are doing in the studios. It's 5:15. It's your Pratt Pack. Time to call in. 866-391-1020. Wake up. We're underway for a Sunday morning. KDKA.
When you need to talk, we're here for you. Always have been. News Radio KDKA. Life's best moments start with perfect choices. For Connie Nowak, it was a trolley ride and a 67-year love story. A life of family, smart decisions, and companionship with Chester the cat. Her retirement choice? The Village at St. Barnabas. Recreation, healthcare, close to family, everything on her list. Plus, it's an exceptional retirement value with a flexible entry process and affordable rates. St. Barnabas Retirement Communities, stbarnabascommunities.com, or call 724-444-5568.
Tune in this Sunday morning at 8 for the Coons Cooking Hour with Rob Pratt and the Coons Market team when they discuss how to store and cook with herbs and spices. It's the Coons Cooking Hour, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer.
The KDKA Radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Bubba Chandler went 6 innings and gave up no earned runs and struck out 5 as the Pirates beat the Mets 9-0 yesterday. 2 teams again today, PNC Park, 1:35 first pitch. Here at a 93.7 The Fan. Pro Football Hall of Fame, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Luke Kuechly, and Roger Craig were officially enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame 2026 class on Saturday in Canton, Ohio. First ballot legend Brees and Fitzgerald headlined the ceremony along with their peers, sharing emotional speeches honoring their storied careers, families, and iconic moments in NFL history. And Roger Craig also announced that he is suffering from dementia. Lionel Messi's father passed away, the father of the soccer star and Argentinian captain. He died Saturday at a hospital in Rosario, Argentina. His father was 68 years of age. Riverhounds, Sacramento 0-0 tie last night. Wyndham Championship through 3 rounds. Michael Brennan and Bo Hostler are tied at 16 under. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, 93.7 The Fan, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDK, and WAMO 107.3 are partnering to support Pittsburgh Public School students for the school year by providing stuffed backpacks for the Pittsburgh Public Schools Back to School event presented by Target Freight Management. You can support by purchasing backpacks or dropping backpacks off on August 12th from noon until 1 at the Target Freight Management across from Castle Tavern, 6360 Library Road, South Park Township, or August 14th from 1 to 2 p.m. at Donaldson's Crossroads, 4004 Washington Road, McMurray. For more details, visit KDKRadio.com, brought to you by Rugby Realty and Pittsburgh Regional Transit. So somebody explained to me, why are so many young people so angry? And why are they resorting to violence? And, you know, when you look at a lot of these school shootings, you just see the just premeditated violence, and it's coming from the mind of a person who really hasn't even developed their mind yet. Where and how does all of the hate speak leak in? And this is another reason why I think I'm so happy that these schools are deciding to get rid of cell phones, because it's going to force young people to form bonds and communicate. Look, you're always going to have the bully in the schoolyard, right? That's just a part of life. It's never going to go away. You're going to have people that are out to hurt you, harm you. They're jealous of you, whatever. We all have emotions that sometimes spill out and spill over into real life. All I can say is one of the things that I remember growing up that is the most important, whether it was fisticuffs in the alley or at the playground because you were fighting over a girl, or you were just angry with one another, or you just wanted to be that king of the hill. One thing I have learned, whoever you are, being the king of the hill, it never lasts too long. You know, we used to play a game when we were kids, mound of dirt, right? Person would get up on that mound of dirt, and anybody that would try to get into that position, they would push them back down that very big pile of dirt. So nobody got hurt, but it was, physical aggression, taking things out, you know what I mean? And kind of just getting rid of all of that excess energy. The thing that I remember the most, that king of the hill, whoever you were, how tough you were, big, strong, didn't matter. You were only going to be there for a certain period of time. But little things like that, and playing tackle football and basketball and doing other things, leaning in, pushing into each other, a lot of that physical aggression was let go. And if you were ever in a fight at a schoolyard or at a bus stop, and I was a few times in my life growing up, guess what? You got a bloody nose. You got beat up a little bit, but then by the next day or two, you were back pedaling your bikes, going fishing together, talking in the cafeteria, discussing life, and you were the best friends once again. People fight. They get aggression out. But what has happened to these young kids? Work with me for just a moment. They are so basically locked up in their room with their smartphone and their computer, and they see certain things that make them angry or get upset. And look, you know everything when it comes to Madison Avenue. It's about putting your best foot forward. It's about showing the bells and whistles. And like we were growing up, we'd watch Soul Train or American Bandstand, and we thought we should have the shoes, we should have the clothes, we should have the prettiest girl, we should have the nicest car. But guess what? We went out and put the sweat equity into it and worked for it. Now you have kids seeing all of these bells and whistles and all of the things, the blogs that they see, and people going back and forth at each other, and rivalries and anger and peer pressure and bullying. But there's no outlet for it because they're not out talking to one another. They're not spending time communicating with one another. Look, from the time we got on the bus in the morning, like many students will be doing here in just a few short weeks, until the time we got home and sat around that dinner table at 5 o'clock throughout the school year, we were with our peers. We were talking on the bus. We were talking during study hall. We were talking at the cafeteria. We were talking at recess. We were talking during extracurricular activities. We would spend time with one another in our neighborhoods. We'd bring all that conversation back on the weekends. I don't know about you, other than a bowl of cereal and some Saturday morning cartoons, we were out playing all day. And in the summer months, especially now, winding it down, you had to psychologically start winding your brain down, saying, look, I can't be out walking my neighborhood at midnight. I got to start coming in when those streetlights come on. I got to start getting into the frame of mind that I'm going to have to get up as the sun comes up. I'm going to have responsibility, get back on that school bus. I can tell you right now, there are kids, and some of you who are listening probably even can relate, that from the moment school let out back in June or late May, other than some responsibilities going to a worship service or visiting someone or a certain vacation with a family, there are a lot of children who are up all night playing video games, have not communicated with any of their friends other than by, and forget email, that's like prehistoric, direct messaging, Snapchat, or text messaging. Other than that, it's been video games, lots of junk food, lots of afternoon naps, and basically being a vampire up all night and sleeping and being groggy throughout the day. And many of them, for the first time, are going to be getting rid of the flip-flops and the tank tops and the cutoffs, and they're going to have to put on real clothes and get ready to wipe the sleep from their eyes and go to school. Look, we have a problem not just here in America, but this story in Thailand is another indication of how tragic the world that we live in is right now. You got a 14-year-old who killed 8 students, including a 12-year-old girl, and before causing all of that carnage, he killed his own grandparents. I mean, how can a 14-year-old have this much anger? Look, I was on the air when Columbine went down, okay? I said on that day, I'll probably never, God willing, have to witness a story like that again involving school students. Well, lo and behold, it was just the beginning. It didn't stop. It went on and on and on, and now it's starting to filtrate places around the world. And the one common denominator is young people are killing each other. It's absolutely absurd, it's gut-wrenching, and it's heartbreaking. Here's Cynthia in Florida on KDKA. Hey, Cynthia, good morning.
Good morning. I don't think things have changed much, except there are weapons involved. My husband watches all these crime shows, and there were women or girls who had lured another girl to a party and shot her 7 times. And when I was coming up, I was not allowed to fight. But I talked to my grandmother one day, and she said, if a bunch of them jump on you, get one as good as everybody got you. Yeah. And I put a woman in the hospital. You know, I got tired of having my clothes torn up in gym class, my hair pulled, tripped, walking down the hall. Enough was enough. But
Cynthia, look, Cynthia, there were always guns. There was always knives. There was always way to do bodily harm to someone. But you know what? We talk to each other every day. When I tell you there is so much lack of communication among young people, my children, when they were growing up, if I would have let them sit in front of the television and play video games or get on their laptop when laptops were fashionable before smartphones, or then eventually their smartphones, they would have never left the house in the summertime. Now, my oldest a little different because he's older and he kind of grew up in a different time. But my other two, and thank God they're both active, they get out, they do things. But if I would have let them, they would have sat in the house the entire summer. And this is happening every day. They don't have face-to-face sitting down in a cafeteria.
Well, they become desensitized. They become desensitized.
Yes,
They're
absolutely.
Antisocial. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not into those crime shows, by the way. I can't. I got.
Me neither. I hate them.
I can't. Listen, I know people that love them, and every time I hear bump, 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 I'm like, turn that channel. I don't want to see it because it always involves some young person, some child, and I can't stand when children are hurt in anything. It absolutely makes me sick to the stomach. So I get where you're coming from there. But here's the thing. Here's the other thing kids don't do today, and I've seen it firsthand. They don't go on dates. They don't like pick up, somebody of the opposite sex and go to the movies or go out to eat. They sit at home or they have people come over. Nobody dances. There's no more community dances anymore like there used to be.
Well, but again, a lot of people can't afford it. And you're listening to adults who are now moving into their parents' homes, who have master's degrees.
I saw that.
Can't afford houses.
I saw
all
that.
Of that.
I saw that on the national news.
We're circling the drain.
Good stuff. Hey, I appreciate you, Cynthia. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that story the other day. You know, I had to move back when I was like 25 for about a year or two. And I got to tell you, it was the best 2 years of my life. I came back home. My mom kicked my dad out of the master bedroom. They went down the hall. I don't know how it happened, but I got that room. My mother did my laundry. She cooked my meals. And if I didn't physically say, look, this is getting too comfortable, and I got out of there, I would have probably stayed there the rest of my life. I mean, you don't. That's the other thing. Young people don't appreciate. They want to get out. They want to see the world. They want to carve their own way. But little do they know. And I was telling somebody this the other day because around 30 or so had to go back home. And I was telling this person who knows one of my children. I said, look, embrace it. Spend time with your parents. Watch television with them. Eat dinner with them. Listen to them. Morning, noon, and night, whenever you have a chance, hug them. Because let me tell you, it doesn't last forever. One day you wake up, one dies, and then the next one dies. And the next thing you know, it's just voices, it's just pictures, it's just memories. And that's the other thing that I think's happened in our country today. We don't have family units together anymore. You need to eat dinner together. You need to spend time together. And you need, if you're a young person, you need to reach out to the adult in a room and say, look, I got a problem here. I need some help. I need some advice. And you should always be asking. I did it all the time, even if it's 20 minutes out of your day. How was your day? What's on your mind? Anything bothering you? Are you doing okay? Don't wait for the red flag. Prevent it by discussing What can I do to help every day? 866-391-1020, your Pratt Pack.
Celebrate the month of August with Zero Res. Buy 2 rooms of carpet clean to get 2 rooms free, plus take $100 off your air duct cleaning too. Book online at ZeroResPGH.com and take advantage of the savings.
The best time to recommit to your gut health goals? Right now. Take charge of your gut with Nature Made. Our clinically studied ingredients support digestive health. Digestive enzymes break down nutrients. Probiotic and prebiotic fiber nourish good gut bacteria. And super greens with probiotics empower daily digestive health. Try the full lineup of gut health support from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times. But when you need us, we are here for you. And we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Several major wildfires burning across the western U.S. The bug fire in Nevada is now closing in on Cold Springs. Utah wildfire officials are contending with the Widemouth 2 fire, which killed 2 fire officials battling the blaze in a helicopter this week. Fires also raging in Washington state. Nearly a quarter of Puerto Rico is in severe drought right now after the driest month there in 120 years. ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
This is a significant and growing crisis now. San Juan, for example, residents there being asked to ration water. They're not the only city. There's other major cities on the island that are doing the same. More than 180,000 customers right now are expected to be going without water for 48 hours at a time. They're doing it in intervals in a sort of alternating schedule. That's part of that rationing process.
And Hunter Biden now tells the BBC his father's cancer has spread again. Former President Biden had been diagnosed with prostate cancer. This is ABC News.
Support St. Anthony school programs and help students with special needs achieve their full potential through inclusive education, therapy services, and job skills development. Serving students ages 5 to 21 with Down syndrome, autism, and other intellectual disabilities. Find them within select Catholic schools in the Pittsburgh area, including a post-secondary program at Duquesne University. For over 70 years, St. Anthony school programs have empowered students of all faiths to live independently and contribute meaningfully to society. Learn more or donate at StAnthonyKids.org.
With multiple Tri-State Neuropathy Centers treatment locations throughout the region, relief from peripheral neuropathy has never been more accessible and successful. Here's Sean Ritchie, founder and DC of Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, with one of his stories from helping over 15,000 patients regain their comfort, mobility, and quality of life.
James from Youngwood suffered for 10 years. He had all the symptoms of neuropathy, the numbness, the pain, the burning, the stabbing, even had these jumpy legs at night. It was destroying his life, and he had to quit his job. After going through our non-invasive treatment program, we were able to get him pain-free, sleeping again. In fact, he told me he went hunting this year and was able to do it without any problem.
Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help James. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000 for an initial free consultation. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy. Learn more at marydanston.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us Monday in the Big K Morning Show, 5:30 until 10. We'll recap what you might have missed over the weekend and get you going.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Start off with some patchy fog early this morning. Otherwise, it'll be mostly sunny with a high of 87. Then clear early tonight with increasing clouds late, low 71. Tomorrow, expect a couple of showers and a thunderstorm that can be gusty and bring flooding downpours, high 82. And on Tuesday, expect another round of a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 83. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Nicole Joniak, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
You know, we actually, in our early morning promo in the 4 a.m. hour to kind of get people ready for the weekend lineup, that was the headline. And let me just share it with you again. ABC News basically was talking about it to actually lead off that newscast, and it kind of reminded me that I wanted to definitely bring this up. And we're going to be in all week 6 to 10, so we'll have plenty of opportunities to discuss these stories and more. But it's a red flag as far as I'm concerned. You know, I saw earlier today on CNN that military officials are looking for an exit strategy, and now you've got the Iran regime ragtag government saying, well, before we open up the Straits of Hormuz, we've got some demands, and the United States better straighten their act up. I'm thinking, who are these people? And I've said this before, I just don't understand how our military hasn't been able to finish these folks off, these so-called military experts in Iran. This is not the Iranian people. This is that ragtag government that's been there since Ayatollah Khomeini, 1979, and I've never even seen their militia. It's just a bunch of drones. And can we not defeat a bunch of drones? But anyway, this is the story that I saw earlier today, ABC News, and they were just talking about it. U.S. military pushes companies to dramatically accelerate weapon production as Iran war burns through supply. So let me tell you how I look at this, and if you want to jump in here, feel free. 866-391-1020. Obviously, we're not making enough weapons, okay? And we only created 27,000 jobs last month. We now have Nippon U.S. Steel with this $15 billion deal, refurbishing the Mon Valley, the Edgar Thompson Works, money going into Gary, Indiana. Start making tanks and planes and weapons again. Stockpile, create jobs. If you're going to use government money, spend money to make money. And we were talking yesterday about these working class jobs that we need to get back to in America, like the old days when the steel mills were booming and people had fat paychecks. And the banks were flowing over with cash flow, and the banks were investing, and people were buying and building. Main Street was flourishing. There's your opportunity. Just be all in. And this is a president who is all about the military. He has done as much, if not more, even though you may disagree with Iran, and I get that, and we're not going down that path unless you feel the need to get it off your chest. I'm always here and always all ears, and I'll listen. But now's the time. Some of these idle mills that nothing has been done with them for a while. Ramp them up. Spend some money. Look, you're $38 trillion in debt. Stroke a few more checks. But if you don't have enough defense weapons to defend your country, and we're worried about what's happening at the border down south, don't you also understand this is another indication, and then you let the word get out that you need more weapons, you don't have enough, and you're giving all these weapons to Ukraine, which I get it. What happens if Putin or Ping says, you know what, now's the time to punch him in the gut because their guard is down. They can't protect themselves. I promise you, Russia is still making planes and tanks, and I know China is. I mean, what in the world are we doing? Remember what almost cost us World War II. When Japan dropped the bomb on Pearl Harbor, when Hitler did the Blitz thing and went into Poland, right, and Yugoslavia and Hungary and just went crazy, right? The reason we couldn't get in earlier, it was simple. Because we did not have any weapons. We stopped making weapons in this country at the end of World War I. What in the world are we thinking about? How can you not have weapons in the United States of America? And here's the other indication, and there's been talk about it. What happens if Putin, who knows the only way he stays in office is if he keeps fighting, gets the upper hand on Ukraine, and then zigzags his way into a NATO country? And then it's fair game. It's wide open. Wide open. And then here's the other thing. Do we even have the skilled workforce that can make these weapons? Do we have the facilities? We couldn't even get ventilators during the pandemic. And I was the first to tell you this, and if you go back, you'll remember, we were actually hiring out foreign companies to make tanks. Foreign companies to make tanks for America. What did you think was going to happen when J&L, Bethlehem Steel, Crucible, LTV, when they all left? What did you think was going to happen? If we got into any major conflict, whatever we had was going to be gone. Remember Mr. Murtha? He talked about it all the time. And now that he's been gone and obviously out of office, Is anybody even talking about building military weapons? I mean, we used to make airplane propellers in Beaver. We used to make landing crafts that were used for D-Day in Ambridge. We used to make the steel that powered America in Aliquippa. This is just where I'm from, and you all have the same stories. Look, if I'm the president, I put America back to work and on defense, and I start making tanks and planes and ships at record pace, and I find brownfields and I build steel mills. Listen, let it be an ESOP. Let it be owned by the government or the American people. It doesn't matter. We have a chance now while we still have some of the lingering parts of the greatest generation on this earth, meaning aging baby boomers like me, who can help jumpstart this economy. What in the world are we doing in America? That's the question I'm asking you today. What are we doing? And here's the most frightening part of all. They let that statement leak out. They let that statement leak out. You don't think they've seen that in Moscow? You don't think that they've seen that in Beijing? I mean, time difference or no, whenever they saw it, they're running out of weapons. And what are we doing that we're not winning in Iran? Because we're not. They're today, as of the last 12 to 24 hours, they're demanding that they want demands met before they even think about opening the Straits of Hormuz. While the president keeps saying peace is at hand and we're having great talks and the Strait's going to be open very soon. While the price of oil continues to go up, we only hired 27,000 people last month, and the price of gasoline is still hovering at a price where people can't afford to go anywhere. We're crumbling right in front of our very eyes, but here we are in this region. Let's go local again with the ability with steel and coal from Fayette County to West Virginia. And I'm going to give you the natural gas hook again. It's time to do something with natural gas. It's time to do something with nuclear energy. Power these steel mills. You won't need electricity. You won't need the grid. You'll be able to get free energy from the ground. It's that simple. Free energy from the ground. And you can build steel mills. All right, here's Mary Hours with that 5-day forecast. Mary, I know they need it in Puerto Rico, and God bless them, and there are other people that need water, but I've had enough of it here in western Pennsylvania.
I know. We've had severe storms and everything throughout, I don't know, all month. Every time we get a storm, it's always severe, I feel like.
Listen, buckets of water. I mean, I've never seen torrential rain. I mean, we're talking sustained buckets of water, literally like waves rolling off of rooftops. I've never seen this type of rain before.
I know. We're getting a lot of instability. We're getting that heat and humidity. It's here. It's so warm. Today at least we're dry, but we're back into that unsettled weather pattern tomorrow. So we'll have another round of possibly severe storms, even some flash flooding. It'll be early into the morning. And then we'll get a few heavy downpours into the afternoon. And then by Tuesday, this just kind of on and off through the week.
Any thoughts on why? And I'm sure there are reasons. I'm kind of curious. What is causing all of this?
Yeah, I mean, we've just had these storms that, they just have so much moisture, and that all, goes into the different types of systems that are moving in, a lot of Cape instability. So it's really that high humidity and those high dew points. I mean, we've had dew points in the 70s. So it has a lot to do with exactly how warm it is. And, it's just not that ordinary. I mean, it's an ordinary thunderstorm for summer, but they're just really severe. I mean, we've had so many tornadoes. So yeah, it's just the fronts, the troughs, the instability, it's the moisture, it's the wind shear. And when you get those perfect ingredients, it's just one of those years that we have had a pretty active severe weather season.
Now, will this have any indication as far as the winter is concerned, or is that a completely separate story?
Well, I mean, there's been, winters in the past that we've had, a lot of snow, but no severe. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily go out to be the prediction for winter, but an El Nino that we're seeing, it often favors, that stormier southern U.S. pattern.
and then that'll bring more moisture. So it doesn't mean a snowier winter, but it's definitely still possible that we could get a major snowstorm. It's never out of the question.
All right, last time before I let you go, Mary Hour's First Alert Forecast, KDKA Television today. Now, so yesterday in the noon hour, we got talking about this crazy weather, and people were agreeing on the amount of tornadoes, this, that, and whatever. And the phrase jet stream kept coming up from just amateurs like me. So you're the pro, you're the meteorologist. Does jet stream have anything to do with the weather we have been experiencing? What exactly is the jet stream? Go ahead.
Yeah, so whenever we're talking about a jet stream, I mean, it actually deals with the flow of the weather pattern. So when the jet stream dips further to the south, you get that colder air moving in. So you have, for instance, a better chance for snow and cold. And then when that jet stream moves a little bit north, then in that sense, you would have warmer air moving north and a milder winter. So a strong wavy jet, that will trigger stronger storms, but say it gets stuck, then that weather pattern and that unsettled weather pattern, it can just linger for days.
All right, good stuff. Listen, have a great rest of your day. We appreciate you, okay?
Awesome. Thanks. Have a good one.
There she goes, Mary Hours. What a talent. Don't forget First Alert Forecast throughout the morning, KDKA Television. We'll have AccuWeather, and Rob will continue to follow the weather and everything else making news. He's got his first newscast coming up at 6, which is just about 15 minutes away. Your calls coming up next. Your Pratt Pack, KDKA.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company. Larger than light. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Time to get that painting project done that you've been putting off by calling CertaPro Painters. Hi, this is Larry Richard. My first experience more than a decade ago started with a free estimate. They got that done quickly and left the place beautifully cleaned up after a great professional job. And each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. That makes all the difference in the world. You're talking to the owner. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Bubba Chandler went 6 innings and gave up no earned runs and struck out 5 as the Pirates beat the Mets 9-0 yesterday. 2 teams again today, PNC Park, 1:35 first pitch. Here at a 93.7 The Fan. Pro Football Hall of Fame, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Luke Kuechly, and Roger Craig were officially enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame 2026 class on Saturday in Canton, Ohio. First ballot legend Brees and Fitzgerald headlined the ceremony along with their peers, sharing emotional speeches honoring their storied careers, families, and iconic moments in NFL history. And Roger Craig also announced that he is suffering from dementia. Lionel Messi's father passed away, the father of the soccer star and Argentinian captain. He died Saturday at a hospital in Rosario, Argentina. His father was 68 years of age. Riverhounds, Sacramento 0-0 tie last night. Wyndham Championship through 3 rounds. Michael Brennan and Bo Hostler are tied at 16 under. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
I'm with Joe Potocnik from JP Roofing and Siding, a platinum preferred contractor from Owens Corning. Joe, what does that mean?
It's an elite status. We earn that by using Owens Corning products to qualify for the platinum preferred warranty. That's a 50-year warranty on the materials and 25-year on the labor, 100%.
That's the upper 1% in America after 45 years, Joe. Congratulations.
Thank you, Larry.
Call JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Little Tech Vibe Radio coming up after the news at 6. Mr. Dentisi and I will be recording some commercials that you're going to hear next week. And then back at it at 7 with Doug. And then Frank and I talking peppers today on the Coons Cooking Hour. Best of with Dr. Sean Ritchie today, Tri-State Neuropathy Center, helping people with neuropathy. Accurate Solutions, then the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. Coming up today, Joe Giordano, former Pitt Panther baseball coach, now special assistant IMG Academy. Pirates get back on the winning track, and I'm going to explain a little bit later today why getting that win against the Mets is very important. Could be the key to the rest of the season. I'll explain it all with Joe and Greg Diolis. And also, we're going to look back at yesterday's Hall of Fame ceremonies in the National Football League's Pro Football Hall of Fame. Former Pitt Panther Larry Fitzgerald enshrined his college roommate from the days at Pitt, my good friend Tyler Palco. His father, of course, Bobby Palco, longtime coach West Allegheny, where Tyler played and also went on to Pitt and played in the NFL as well. He'll join us at 11:30. And at noon, Ray Fittipaldo on the PG beat covering the Steelers drops by, and then Ted Arnaud joins us at 12:30 to talk the NFL up until 1 o'clock. So we have a long way to go. We're here today all the way up until 1 o'clock on KDKA. Here's Ted up on Mount Washington. Ted, good morning and welcome to KDKA. How are you, sir?
What's going on, Rob?
It's Sunday morning, and I'm just trying to hope that there's no more rain in store, at least for today. I'm tired of the rainy weather.
Me too, man. Hey, real quick about the military. Didn't I tell you Trump was going to turn to LBJ?
It's starting to look that way, isn't it?
Definitely. Look, we don't have a military for the 21st century. I mean, you look at what's going on in Ukraine, even when how Iran is fighting this war, we just don't have that military anymore.
We don't. We obviously don't.
And also, you don't have a strategy. One thing about Nixon and also Reagan and the other presidents in the past, our enemies used to fear us. They don't fear us no more.
No, they don't. They don't.
And it's a shame. I mean, it's really a shame. And also our economy, what we have is stagflation. Junk economics, man. You can't put tariffs on everyone. And at the same time, you want to go to war. And we have a job rate, 20-something thousand?
I know. Listen, I'm surprised people weren't literally like chomping at the bit to talk to me about that when I kind of jumped on that yesterday morning. That, to me, that just doesn't even register. That's like maybe like a half a state or something, but for the entire country, 27,000 jobs, that's a joke.
Well, that's a recession coming.
Well, that's
a
it.
Bad one.
That's it. So get people back to work and start making some weapons so we'll have some cash flow. Because that recession could turn into a depression. Go ahead.
It will. I mean, the president's going to have to give up something. I'm telling you, like LBJ, you can't have the American first and at the same time you're trying to fight a war. You have to do something. And he's going to have to give up those tariffs. It's basically choking your economy. And like I said, I just don't see where he's going to go with it. He has to admit that he made a mistake.
But how can we not defeat this ragtag government? They're using drones. They don't have military might. I mean, come on. How is it we haven't been able to stuff them out like that quick?
I hate to say it, but we have a taco in the White House.
We have a what?
You never tell you a taco in the White House. Trump always backs out, man. You never tell your enemy what you're not going to do. What's the president saying? I'm not going to use ground troops.
He should have.
Well, he just told the whole world he's not committed. You never say that.
Listen, ground troops were the only way we had a chance to win this so-called war. That's the only way. You had to go get that regime and physically remove them because it's just been a battle of technology, drones and missiles. That's it. I mean, this thing should have been over. And do you realize how much infrastructure we have destroyed? Now, mark my word, you know what one of the agreements is probably going to be? We'll open the Strait of Hormuz if you give us money to rebuild our country. That'll be next. So then we'll be $50 trillion in debt, and he'll leave and go to Mar-a-Lago with $9 billion, and America will be broke.
Exactly. And what the Reagan always teaches us, you negotiate through strength, not through weakness. And this president negotiates through weakness. You can't do that.
Yeah, because we look pretty weak right now.
Absolutely. Our economy is weak. I mean, our military is weak. You can't have those ships out there forever. Also, we're a divided country, which makes Putin and anybody else who's our enemies, we're right for the picking. I mean, look at our political system. It's a mess, Rob.
Well, that's why we're going to need somebody who's young, energetic, and ready to protect this country and our Constitution after this regime is done. I mean, honestly, I don't even like talking about him anymore, but when that's a lead story from ABC and you see it jump out on every major news outlet early on a Sunday morning that we do not have enough weapons, got to talk about it. You got to talk about it.
Well, Rob, we don't have those thinkers in the Pentagon anymore. I mean, we don't have those great guys that's able to not just develop weapons, but have a strategy for the 21st century. We can't fight two wars anymore.
Listen, I don't know what we can do anymore in this country. We can't seem to do anything right. We can't get along political. There's no bipartisan politics. There's no moderate politicians. We continue to go deeper in debt. We have $1 trillion credit card debt by the American people in this country. We have very few people getting hired in America. When you have an entire month of 333 million people and some change, and you only create 27,000 jobs, this isn't a Democratic or Republican issue. This is a human interest issue. This is a matter of life and survival. 27,000 new jobs in 1 month in a country that has 333 million people? Are you kidding me? Who's minding the store? Who's minding the store?
No one. This is an American issue, Rob. Like I say, it reminds me of the 60s. When we came out the 60s, went into the 70s, it took a long time before we got to Ronald Reagan.
Yeah,
to bring us back out of the mess.
But the more I find out about Ronald Reagan, probably the reason the mills closed down and what he did to the air traffic controllers, I'm not so high on him either anymore.
Well, Rob, it's a different era. We had something called the Soviet Union. Was it worth getting rid of the Soviet Union? Yes, it was.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But you know what? But you know what? But Gorbachev was the last one that has left that presidency upright, and he truly was a decent individual. We haven't seen it before or since. And Putin, he surely ain't going to walk away from this. He's going to hang on to power until his last breath.
Absolutely. And the rumors is he's going to test NATO.
I saw that. That's why I brought it up. I saw that earlier this week. So if they know that, just like they know we have no weapons, what's that tell you? I promise you that gives him more of an opportunity to put the green light to go because we can't stop him. If we don't have enough weapons to finish this regime in Iran, are we going to be able to finish off Russia in Europe? I don't think so.
No, we don't have a president that got the guts to go after Putin. I hate to say it, but the show's over for Trump.
Well,
and on the other side, you got the best of socialism for the Democrats, which is a disgrace.
Well, I'm going to leave you with this. If I'm J.D. Vance, the guy that he supposedly is honing in on to pick, I'm young enough, I exit and try it in 4 more years. And if I'm Marco Rubio, do I really want to clean up this mess? And if it's this bad and we still have years before the election, are you kidding me? Who in the world would want to run on the Republican ticket right now? I mean, it's just not good, and it's crumbling in front of our very eyes. It's just really, really sad because he had an opportunity because of his business sense to straighten things up. 866-391-1020. Remember that number because we'll be talking to you all week on Rob Pratt, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 6 to 10.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Plus, our effervescent producer is here.
Effervescent? I actually don't know what that means, effervescent. Are you making fun of me?
Well, no, not at all.
Yeah, because I looked it up after Larry said it.
Oh, you looked it up?
Yeah.
So let's see
I was like, how are you describing me? And it says that it means giving off bubbles of gas. And I was like, oh.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
When you're handling an estate or an inherited home, the decisions can feel overwhelming. At Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, we help families through this every single week. We make a quick, fair cash offer on the home, coordinate any cleanouts, help you through the process, and we'll buy it in its current condition. No pressure, no surprises. Visit